some would say we weren't doing the right thing in Ghana, but actually I believe that in the UK we're not doing the right thing.
Okay.
I wouldn't entrust a plumber to bake me a cake. I actually encourage people actually not to buy land in Ghana.
I'm sitting here with the fastest CEO in Ghana. He literally is, and he's going to tell us why. But today we are here speaking to the CEO of Jacob West, and we're going to find out about how you guys in the diaspora can acquire one of their amazing properties. So guys, if you're new to my channel, then you're in the right place if you're looking for how you can purchase property in Ghana from abroad. This is my channel. So guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my future videos. And also give the video a thumbs up if you find today's video interesting, and drop something in the comments. We want you to know that you can purchase some amazing properties in Accra right now, and you've got the CEO here. So if you need to know somebody and the face behind the brand, then you've got the brand right here. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Part 2.
And I'm sitting today with the fastest CEO in Ghana. Why do they call you the fastest CEO in Ghana?
Well, as you can see, I have a medal.
Okay.
Just recently won for a 5K run in Accra. And yes, I didn't train for it, but as you know, we prepare to win all the time.
That's it. Yeah. And you are winning in the property space. So tell us who you are.
So I'm Michael Kyei-Ayensu, formerly known as Kweku, but I'm the founder of Jacob West, a real estate company in Ghana, Accra here.
Amazing.
And we aim to take over the rest of Africa in what we do, and obviously promote Africa positively.
Positively indeed, and we've been seeing your brand. Your brand is very strong, by the way. I really love the logo, the branding, and what you guys stand for. You stand for not only obviously your reputation, which is there, but also the fact that New Africa already exists. Just tell us, you know, we met up before and we spoke about that, but just remind us, what is that motto behind your brand?
Quite simple. Africa was there before we existed in terms of, you know, individually. We shouldn't feel as though the opportunities were not there. They've always been there. I think our job is just to really promote what's already existing in Africa. So our motto, the New Africa already exists, is that we already have the potential in Africa now. We just need to have the right lens to see what the potential is. And
this is why we're here. So a lot of people that watch my channel and watch me, they want to find out about properties in Ghana. So this is about providing that lens, right? So that people can see what is out there. So what do you provide? What does Jacob West offer? Okay, so our journey is a bit different to other developers. We started off by being a bespoke builder. And at the time we were bespoke in designs for clients that really didn't live in Ghana here. You know, concept to completion. As we grew, we had our own construction in-house team. We did our own marketing, and it was okay. But the final destination was to be able to offer that complete product to Ghanaians or non-Ghanaians, people that are interested in Ghana. So we are now developing communities. We're not building houses, we're building communities. We believe that how we used to live is what we need to bring back. So explain that a little bit more. I recently visited my hometown in the Ashanti region. And you know, growing up in the UK, the idea of family house, we couldn't understand what that meant. Was it the Mortons, this huge house and many people living in there? What was family house? So my grandma passed away in 2019, and we took a visit to her hometown, Fawade, or Fade. And we visited where she was from, and then where my grandfather was from, in Tonsu. And I went to the family house. Now the family house was literally just like a full court. Compound with like also rooms. A communal area in front where people will cook, play, conversate. And I think the Africa then is what we're losing now. So if we build communities, we will bring back that togetherness. So we're not just building bricks and mortars, we're actually building communities. So tell me about some of the communities you are building.
So we've started off very small with a project in East Legon Hills. That was a 4-unit townhouse.
Okay.
But at the moment we're on 16 units in an area called North Legon on the Abogba stretch going up to Abri.
We are going to go and see that.
We
and
will
check it
definitely
out.
go and
Yeah.
see. It's early. We've just started construction. We're offering 4-bedroom townhouses at a decent price.
Okay.
And I think we're aiming for the upper middle market, which is growing in Ghana at the moment.
Actually, tell us about that. So, what are you seeing? What's some of the trends that you've seen in Ghana when it comes to real estate and people's buying power?
I think, let's be realistic, we are a developing country. And if you say you're a developing country, we shouldn't focus too much on the high end.
Okay.
That's my belief.
Okay.
People are moving back. They're moving back with their savings.
Right.
They're moving back with some investments. They're moving back with the idea of creating a family. And I think what they're looking for is safe communities with amenities close to the airport and something that they can start their lives off with. And that price point has to match that idea.
Okay.
And I think that focus for the next 10 years is where we need to grow in Ghana, and that's what we're doing. Our properties start at a reasonable price point,
Okay.
which we believe is the upper middle class, which will grow.
Right, okay. So typically a lot of people that are in the diaspora and they come to me, they're looking to purchase property in Ghana. They ask me one question, Lorraine, how much do I need to get started? What would you say is the answer to that? If somebody wanted to, let's take it from 2 angles. If somebody wanted to build, and you guys could build on behalf of people as well, or you just strictly build to sell?
So we started our journey by building.
Oh,
for
okay.
people.
Tell us about that actually.
So the idea was we realized that over the years, growing up in the UK, that was a major issue of trusting the right people. Some would say we weren't doing the right thing in Ghana, but actually I believe that in the UK we're not doing the right thing.
Okay.
Did you ever hear parents, uncles, aunties engage in construction companies? Or was it
Uncle,
the sibling?
your brother, yeah.
So I
yeah.
think the mistake didn't come from those on the ground in Ghana. It came from us in the UK, not respecting that what we're doing in the UK in terms of engaging companies, paying those fees,
Yeah.
going through a process.
We weren't willing to do that in
We
Ghana.
weren't willing to
Right.
do that. We were willing to do the family way.
Right.
But then when it goes wrong, we accuse family of not doing it.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, sorry to interrupt you there, but a lot of people did it from a place of love and supporting their family. You know, I know my mum will do it from a position of, oh, either they have nothing to do, or let's help them as well by them helping us. So we all help ourselves as a family. I think that's where a lot of people started from, right?
I mean, that's a fair point, but I wouldn't entrust a plumber to bake me a cake.
I get it.
So I get it. You know, you're trying to encourage your family to give them work, something to do. But are they engineers? Are they quantity surveyors? Are they carpenters? Do they have that experience and knowledge, book-wise, before they take it to construction?
Yeah, I mean,
So you're helping
the wrong person.
You're helping them in a different way.
you're right.
So
yeah.
I mean, helping, there has to be an angle of how you're helping, and I think
Yeah.
we were getting it wrong
Yeah.
in the UK
Yeah.
by sending money to people that didn't have an idea of what it takes to build in Ghana. And I think if we put the whole structural system and process together, then we're offering what people actually feel they deserve,
Right.
that they're investing in.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're here for. To answer your question about building for people, we take a selective view on that now. It's a very difficult service to offer because of the experience of people's
It's very
families.
bespoke as well.
And it's very bespoke, and it takes a lot of time out of you. It's hard to kind of grow as a business in that area. That's my belief. So I actually encourage people actually not to buy land in Ghana. And I know it's controversial, but I preach it, and I will continue to preach it. Do not buy land in Ghana.
Tell us why people should not buy land in Ghana.
I have a number of reasons.
List out. Give us 5 reasons why you should not buy land in Ghana.
The registration process is a
Registration
nightmare.
process, okay.
The values are not clear.
Okay, because somebody can just say one day that this should be this price, and somebody else will come and offer this. So
I think the values start from not having the names of roads.
Oh, I see your point.
And if you don't have a name of the road, you can't value an area based on where it's located.
Okay, fine.
So we don't have the values.
Okay.
Dealing with land issues, litigation.
Okay.
Litigation can come from family members, chieftaincies, area boys. And dealing with that, it's totally like a different language to those that don't live or understand the terrain.
Okay.
I think I'm on 3, right?
You on 3, yeah. You've done registration, you've done value, you've done litigation issues.
When we buy land and we don't live here, we don't plan to start now. And leaving land untouched or unoccupied,
You're inviting encroachers, right?
you're inviting problems for yourself. Final thing is that we don't understand what the documents are.
Okay.
Many of us that were living in the US and the UK, we get some documentation and we send it home to the UK and we put it in our drawer and we tell everyone we've owned land in Ghana, but it's not registered.
Right.
We don't understand the process to register it. So for me, I would actually leave that process to developers.
Okay.
And if you do want to bespoke your house, buy within a gated community where the developer has full control
Okay.
of giving you what you want.
Okay.
We do not build in the UK. Why are we building in Ghana?
Did you hear that, guys? Okay, so those people that are not necessarily in Ghana, Mr. Michael has said that.
Hey, you want to kill me?
No, but I understand your perspective. I understand where you're coming from, and the reason why you've now built this communities and you're building all the various projects you're building because of the challenges that people face when it comes to buying land.
Yeah.
So you're effectively making the job a lot easier for people, making it more efficient by you building these communities and these developments as well, so they don't have to have that headache.
Exactly.
You go through it once. You've made sure that everything is in Jacob West's name.
Yeah.
And then you build for their on their behalf, and then you hand over the paperwork, right? So you've made their life easier. So tell us, so if somebody wants to buy property through Jacob West, just tell us through the process that most people go through with your company.
Okay, just to give the viewers more of like a comfort to how we do things. I never take on a project or a piece of land from just someone pointing it out to me. It has to be a family friend, a relative's land that I know the entire history of that land before I get involved. That gives me confidence to tell the end user that there is no issues with what we're dealing with. So if you wanted to take on one of our projects, it's quite straightforward. We're going to promote our CRM system soon that allows clients to be able to engage us online, log on, see updates, get all the agreements and contracts, and to be able to follow the construction period to completion.
Right.
We understand that everything is now instant. Everything's instant, everything's online, videos, YouTube, etc. So we want to make the process as instant as possible.
Yeah. And transparent. I guess.
Transparent.
Yeah.
And I think transparency was always the issue.
Yeah.
When we started building for people, the main goal was to video what we were doing and put it live.
Yeah.
Let people see what they're investing in. I always say that if you've got money and you go to the bank, you won't walk into any bank and put your money in the bank. You go to an established bank that will give you transparency.
Yeah.
You go to the cash machine and you want to get your balance, you get your balance.
Yeah.
That same money is being put into real estate.
Absolutely.
How does the customers who don't live here have that clear mind that is transparent to them at any time they want? Not when you decide, but if they wake up that morning, they want to know what's happening.
They can see it.
They can see it.
I love
I think transparency is the key, and with us, it's always been the key. On our YouTube page, we've got historic stuff on there from 7 years back, where we've just explained the process.
Yeah. And
I think one of the key things for Jacob West is that we educate people. We educate people about the process. We educate people about the wrongdoings. And the challenges, and they are challenges. And when I say don't buy land, it doesn't mean we don't have the challenges of doing it. It just means that we're on the ground and we're able to resolve some of these issues.
And you're taking that pressure off
We're
people,
taking that pressure away from the clients. So to be realistic, the terrain that we're dealing with in Ghana, it's unique.
It's unique, but it's still worthwhile, right? So tell
100%.
people your reasons why you think people should invest in real estate in Ghana.
we are a developing country. And that's the main reason. Anything that is, there's an opportunity to make it better. There's growth for you, the investor. And I think in Ghana, there's untapped areas. There's vast land that's coming up in new areas all the time.
Give us some locations that you've got bets on at the moment in terms of places that you think people are going to start to invest
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
You know, otherwise everybody's going to be running and taking the land that you want to go and build
but
on,
I mean,
right?
there are.
Or where are you thinking about building? Where's
Okay.
Jacob West actually currently building?
Okay, so at the moment we're building in North Legon.
Okay.
And I wouldn't say North Legon is a new area. It's just an area that's been established for years, but it's not been thought of. And I think promotion and marketing does a lot to an area. But there are pockets of spaces around in Accra.
Okay.
There are a number of prime locations that were prime in the 70s and 80s, and today it's not being talked of.
Okay.
I speak about this a lot. Most recently, we had a lot of conversations going on about my recent TikTok post about an area called Teshinongwa Estates.
Okay. It went viral.
Estates.
Okay.
TN Estates. I have to get it right because I was being chopped off. So you've got your Teshi, you've got your Nungwa, you've got various places around, but you've got this pocket, and that pocket, it was an affluent area in the 70s. It's in between First Junction and Cactus Street, and the roads are decent.
Okay.
The families that lived there were from a decent background, educated people. Many that left Ghana to the US, to Canada, to the UK. But at the time they left, they didn't think about coming back.
Okay.
So, you know, someone's grandma's house is there, someone's mother's house is there, but we haven't done anything with it.
Right.
But recently, I've acquired a couple of properties there that we're looking to develop in the next few months. And I do believe strongly that TN Estates is going to be the next hotspot.
You heard it here, okay? You heard it here that TN Estates, according to Mr. Michael of Jacob West, is going to be the next hotspot.
On it.
Oh, not more.
One city's a lot too.
but no, that's interesting. I mean, if you guys agree with Mr. Michael, the fastest CEO in Ghana, according to this trophy, then put it in the comments. If you agree that Teshiningwa Estates is the next hotspot, then put it in the comments. I want to hear your response. But I love where you've taken people in terms of your story and Jacob West. But there is a scripture that you hold dear, and there is I can tell by what is behind Jacob West that you are a man of faith as well. So just tell us where Jacob West comes from.
I'm gonna start crying.
Cue the music.
No, so Jacob West, the name was formed in early parts of 2012 when I was in the UK. And the story of me coming to Ghana wasn't clear. I didn't come to a job. My mother had left Ghana when she was in a 15, close to 16 years old in college. Her family members left to UK, US, so we didn't have like great presence in Ghana. So me coming back here, I didn't go to school here, I didn't study here, I've never worked here before. So it was like, I was apprehensive about the whole move.
Okay.
And at the same time of knowing I'm coming to do real estate, I didn't have a name. I just wanted to end what I did in the UK and start fresh. And I said, I don't want it to be Michael something property services.
Okay.
I don't want it to be common, it has to be something meaningful.
Right.
So I turned to the Bible. And in turning to the Bible, literally, I was just flicking through pages. And I got to the story of Jacob, Genesis 28. And if you start reading from 12 onwards, it was a story of him going back home, him feeling lost. He slept on a rock, and then a message came from above. And that message was God, as the angels were ascending from heaven. I'm a preacher now,
Preach! He's preaching!
And it said, fear not, I'm there with you. And this land that you sit upon will be blessed, and your offsprings will be blessed from the north to the south, to the east, to the west. West Africa, Jacob West.
Nice.
Immediately, I registered the name.
Straight away.
And then my journey began.
I love that
was it.
story. I
And
really
that is a
love
true
that.
story.
Wow. I mean, I can see it in your office, and I see it on everywhere around. So I can see it's something that you really do hold dear to yourself.
Yeah.
So with Jacob West and where it's going, and the vision and the properties that you're developing, right? What is it that you find as unique about Jacob West as a developer compared to, there are so many developments going on around Accra, you know, and a lot of people come to me because they see that I work with a lot of different developers and they want to find something. But why should people choose buying a property with Jacob West over, I mean, it's sometimes it's not necessarily, it's basically maybe where somebody is in their life, what they're looking for, what you offer, what the stock is at that point. But why should somebody look to some of the things that you're building with Jacob West?
I think one of my strengths and my weaknesses is that when I take on a project, I own it like it's mine.
Okay.
And there's a lot of passion that goes into it and a lot of thought process behind what I'm doing. And yes, we are here to make profit as developers, let's not get that wrong. But ultimately, we want to offer that right product for the clients.
No.
Whether it's the price point, I believe that the buyers should make money. There should be a capital return on what they're doing. I believe everything should be considered down to the tile color, to the position on the housing, to the lighting. And I think from the exposure that I have traveling, living in the UK, there are certain elements that will work here. Not all, but some elements. And I think that what we're trying to do is being very considerate to the end user.
Okay.
Not to just the developer.
I love that.
And I do believe that if you invest to get a better return. And you can do that with the middle market, upper middle market property.
And do you think that, so coming back to that perspective of investment, do your properties provide rental yields, capital appreciation, a bit of both? You know, where will the typical investor place their goals or their strategy?
I mean, we all know what the heart of Accra does. Your Lobonis, your cantonments, your airports, fantastic. It's doing fantastic. You've got the restaurants and nightclubs, and you cannot fault that at all. It's a fantastic place to invest in. But I don't feel that the capital appreciation is the focus on those properties. I think it's the rental yield. And the rental yield is questionable. It could be high seasons.
Depends on the season.
But what we're looking at is the return on investment.
Okay.
You know, if you've got some money saved in the UK and you're looking to a better return on that investment, a decent rental income, but a return on investment, then you need to look at the middle market.
Okay.
You know, you've got expats moving to Ghana, renting and buying. You've got the African Americans, Caribbeans. You've got diasporans, which I don't think there should be a division, but we have the diasporans that are willing to invest back. But they're all looking to make
a return.
And I think if we build with that in mind, you're offering something to the end user rather than in yourself.
Yeah, no, I love that. And we are checking out some of your properties as well, so
Sure.
we'll definitely see some of those. But yeah, I guess just as we wrap up, it's just be really interesting just to understand from a diaspora's perspective. You said there shouldn't be any split, but from a diaspora's perspective, for you in particular, one of the things a lot of diasporas are focused on is finishing how a final product looks.
Yeah.
Do you think that, this is a controversial question, but do you think that you coming from abroad, you've got a particular finishing that you would provide on your properties that differentiate you to other developers that maybe have been established from here? You know, just what is your aesthetic when it comes to the things that you build?
I think firstly, it's not because of being from abroad or living abroad. It's just exposure, educating yourself. I've worked with architects in Ghana who haven't traveled anywhere, but the exposure is amazing.
Yeah,
better than any
amazing
architect that I've dealt with in the UK.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's so much that I'm coming from somewhere that I'm bringing something better than what's here already. I just think that it's your characteristics.
Okay.
You show that in your work.
Yeah.
You know, how you dress, how you speak, how you smell. I think if you take time with all these elements, then you should also take time in offering a product to the community that you serve.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we are very strong, is that we take time to educate and also to give them a product that they deserve.
Right.
And I'll only give out what I feel that I'm comfortable with. Sometimes the question's asked, would you live here?
It's a good question
And
to
yes,
ask.
you know, where we pick to develop,
Yeah.
I would live there. So Bethel Gardens, which is our new project. And we've gifted you a nice green free t-shirt.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's in a very good point of North Legon going up to the Obogba Road. The roads are very good. Access points to town is fantastic. Getting to the airport is like less than 25 minutes against traffic.
Okay.
But we feel that it's the opportunity for someone to invest and earn in the next 5 years. And I think something like that, the people in the US, in the UK, would kind of feel that that's where they need to be. So, you know, you will see it for yourself.
Indeed, indeed. So you've heard it here first. Mr. Jacob West himself, Michael, is building projects that he would live in himself, right? So where can people find out more about Jacob West? I mean, we've seen you on TikTok. Where can they find out about you? Where can they find out about some of the projects? Let them know.
So in terms of we're established in Leboni. You can find us in Leboni, in the heart of Leboni. That's where we're based. Our projects, if you go on to www.jacobwestgh.com, you'll find multiple projects that we're undergoing at the moment. Show you some stuff on YouTube that we've done in the last 10 years. And, you know, transparency is the key.
Absolutely.
So we just try to be on all the platforms. And yeah, we're just accessible to whether you're living in Ghana or you're living outside. If you're Ghanaian or you're not Ghanaian, you're welcome to invest and engage our services.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining me today. One of the things that I do tell my audience as well is to make sure that you understand the vision behind the company, you're finding reputable developers to work with. And I love the fact that you said that you've been documenting your journey so people can actually see transparently what you've been doing, which I think is really, really super important. So thank you for doing that and added value to the real estate market in Ghana as well, through transparency and through education as well. So Michael, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for what you're doing for the community, what you're doing for Africa. You're putting Africa on a map. You're doing it positively. Your knowledge is exceptional. And we pray that God takes you further than where you are today.
Amen. From the north to the south to the east to the
west.
West, indeed.
Jacob West.
Jacob West. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. We really appreciate it. I've been Lorraine. If you haven't watched our previous video also about the story behind Jacob West, then go back and watch that as well. And if you want to find out more about how you can get started in real estate in Ghana, then drop something down below and we will follow up. The team will get in touch. And of course, if you want to buy one of the Jacob West properties, come through me. I'm sure we'll be able to sort out some kind of, you know, little discount for my followers, mace rates, you know. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.